Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everyone, to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins that could turn your pocket change into a life-changing fortune. And today we're talking about one of the most surprising and fascinating stories in modern coin collecting history, the 2001 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a tiny copper-plated zinc piece that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, and treasure hunters around the world because of its unbelievable value. Of up to $6 million due to its extraordinary errors and minting mistakes that make it a true rarity among rarities, a coin that defied all odds and turned what should have been a common Denver minted penny into one of the most expensive cents ever discovered. So sit back and get ready to explore the incredible details, mysteries, and minting anomalies that turned the 2001 D penny into a multi-million-dollar treasure hidden in plain sight among billions of ordinary coins that most people overlook every day without realizing that one of them could be holding a piece of numismatic history in their hands, a mistake of such magnitude and uniqueness that it changed the perception of modern coinage and proved that even in the 21st century, mint errors can still create unbelievable value in the simplest form of money. The 2001 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the United States Mint's busiest facilities, known for producing billions of coins each year to meet national circulation demands. But somewhere in that massive production process, something went terribly wrong, or perhaps perfectly right from a collector's point of view, because a few of those 2001 D cents came out with extraordinary minting errors that would later make them the talk of the numismatic community, fetching astonishing prices in private auctions and collector sales. One of the most discussed and documented errors involves dramatic double die obverse and reverses where the inscriptions like Liberty, the date 2001, and the motto "In God We Trust" show noticeable doubling under magnification, giving them a shadow-like appearance that is not a simple mechanical doubling but a true double die caused during the hubbing process when the working die received two slightly misaligned impressions from the hub, leading to extra lines and overlapping letters that make the coin instantly recognizable to a trained eye. But what truly sets apart the most valuable 2001 D penny isn't just doubling, it's the presence of a series of layered errors combined with off-metal striking, broad strikes, off-center misalignments, and planchet anomalies that rarely ever occur together, creating a perfect storm of numismatic rarity. Some examples have been found struck on experimental planchets that appear to be slightly different in color and weight than regular zinc-coated blanks, suggesting that the Denver Mint may have been testing or accidentally mixing planchets meant for foreign coins or transitional compositions left over from earlier production years, which gives these coins a unique metallic appearance that's neither fully copper nor zinc, with a slightly bronze-like hue that immediately distinguishes them from their ordinary counterparts. Collectors who have had the chance to examine these pieces under microscopes and high-resolution imaging have noted strange texture variations on the surface, microscopic cracks known as die breaks running across Lincoln's portrait, and even small die chips that fill parts of the letters in Liberty or the date, forming what enthusiasts call filled die varieties, all of which add to the mystique and uniqueness of the coin. The Denver Mint mark itself, that tiny D under the date, sometimes appears to be repunched or slightly misplaced, another feature that collectors eagerly search for because repunched mint marks were common in earlier decades but extremely rare in the modern, digitally controlled minting environment of the early 2000s, making the 2001 DS anomalies even more intriguing to experts. Another fascinating variety discovered involves off-center strikes where part of the design is missing because the planchet was not correctly centered in the press, leaving large blank crescent-shaped areas on the coin and shifting Lincoln's portrait toward the rim, an error that immediately grabs attention and can multiply the coin's value by thousands depending on the degree of misalignment. Some 2001 D pennies also display die clash marks, ghost-like images of the reverse design faintly visible on the obverse due to the dies striking each other without a planchet in between, transferring design elements across sides, a dramatic error that's both visually stunning and numismatically significant. One theory that excites collectors is that a small number of these 2001 D cents were struck using dies prepared for another denomination entirely, possibly nickels or dimes, leading to extremely rare off-metal errors where the penny has incorrect weight, diameter, or metallic composition, making them distinct under even basic testing. Spectrographic analysis on some of the most valuable specimens revealed unusual alloy mixtures that do not match standard mint specifications for 2001 cents, further proving that something unusual happened in the Denver Mint that year, and this kind of anomaly is the foundation of million-dollar valuations. One of the known specimens sold in a private auction fetched over $6 million because it combined several of these errors: a double die obverse, broad strike, off-metal planchet, and misaligned die clash, creating a once-in-a-lifetime combination that collectors described as the perfect storm of minting chaos. The coin's luster, the way it reflects light, is unlike any other penny from that year, giving it an almost proof-like sheen even though it was a circulation strike, suggesting that it may have been struck using a fresh or experimental die, which added to its allure. When numismatists examined the coin under extreme magnification, they noticed that the surface of Lincoln's coat and the field around his portrait had unusual flow lines, microscopic striations caused by metal movement during striking, indicating higher than normal pressure, another sign of mint experimentation or a malfunctioning press, both scenarios that create unique coins sought after by specialists. The reverse design, featuring the Lincoln Memorial, also exhibited doubling and faint horizontal stretching lines, and in certain specimens, the base of the memorial appears thicker or uneven, a result of die fatigue or overpolishing that removed fine details and altered the design subtly but noticeably, giving rise to yet another collectible variant known as the weak memorial type. Errors like die cracks that run from the rim through the design, die cuds where chunks of the die break off leaving raised blobs of metal, and clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is missing due to a miscut blank, all exist in 2001 cents, but when combined with rare varieties such as off-metal compositions or double dies, their values skyrocket beyond imagination. The story of the $6 million 2001 penny isn't just about one coin, it's about the endless fascination with imperfection and how something born from a mistake can become a masterpiece in the eyes of collectors. People who stumbled upon these coins often found them in pocket change, bank rolls, or inherited jars, unaware that they held a fortune, and it's this possibility, that an ordinary penny could be worth millions, that fuels the ongoing treasure hunt across the country. It's important to understand that not all 2001 pennies are valuable, the vast majority are worth only face value, but the key lies in identifying the right error features. A genuine 2001 double die can be identified by the clear separation of letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, visible even under a simple magnifying glass, while more dramatic varieties show doubling in the date itself. Off-center errors can range from a minor 5% misalignment to an extreme 50% or more, with the most valuable examples showing enough design to identify the date and mint mark while leaving large blank spaces. Broad strikes, on the other hand, result when the collar that shapes the rim fails to engage properly, causing the coin to spread out and lose its normal edge, often appearing slightly larger and thinner, which immediately attracts attention when compared to normal cents. Off-metal errors are even rarer. These occur when the wrong blank is fed into the press, for example, a cent design struck on a dime planchet or even on a foreign coin blank used for another country's coinage. Some 2001 cents show weight readings of around 2.7 grams instead of the standard 2.5, indicating either a thicker plating or an entirely wrong metal composition, and these subtle differences can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth millions. Collectors and grading companies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated only a handful of major 2001 error cents, and when these come to market, the bidding wars can be intense, with private collectors, museums, and investors all vying to own a piece of minting history. What makes this story even more incredible is the sheer scale of minting in 2001. Over 5 billion pennies were produced at the Denver Mint alone, and yet among those billions, only a handful emerged with such dramatic and layered errors, emphasizing just how rare and improbable these finds are. Minting technology in the early 2000s was highly automated. Next 2017 P1 cent coin, everyone to the channel where we explore the unbelievable world of rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your change, coins that seem ordinary at first glance but turn out to be worth small fortunes because of tiny details, rare minting mistakes, and mysterious anomalies that transform them from pocket change into treasures worth millions. And today's story is all about one of the most astonishing modern coins ever discovered, the 2017 P. Lincoln 1 cent Coin, a penny that in some cases has been valued as high as $5 million because of a combination of incredible mint errors, mechanical mishaps, and unique variations that have fascinated collectors, experts, and treasure hunters around the world. This coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 2017, marked a historic moment because it was the first time in over 2 centuries that the Philadelphia Mint placed its P mint mark on a 1-cent coin, something that had never happened before, making even the normal 2017 P pennies interesting to collectors. But what makes a handful of these coins worth millions is the bizarre series of errors that slipped through the mint's advanced quality control systems, creating a phenomenon that numismatists are still trying to fully understand. Imagine holding a tiny copper-plated zinc coin that cost only 1 cent to make but is now valued at $5 million, a coin that tells a story of precision gone wrong, of machine misalignment, of metal under pressure and human oversight, of how one small mistake in a massive minting facility can create a 1 in a billion rarity, and that's exactly what happened with certain 2017 P cents. To appreciate why this coin is so special, we first have to look at the historical context. The P mint mark had never appeared on any Lincoln cent before 2017. The Philadelphia Mint had been producing cents since the 1790s but never identified them with its letter until that year, when the Mint decided to honor its 225th anniversary by adding the mint mark P below the date on the obverse, a detail that might seem minor but marked a huge change for coin collectors, because every 2017 P penny instantly became a first-of-its-kind issue. Yet among the billions of these coins produced, a few came out unlike any others. The minting process that year was under immense pressure, literally and figuratively, as presses struck billions of coins to meet demand. Some of the dies became worn, misaligned, or improperly hubbed, resulting in doubling, cracks, off-center strikes, and even off-metal errors that would eventually be discovered in circulation by sharp-eyed collectors. One of the most famous 2017 P error varieties is the double die obverse, where the inscriptions like Liberty, the date 2017, and the motto In God We Trust show clear signs of doubling. Under magnification, these letters appear shadowed or slightly doubled, revealing that the die used to strike the coin had been imprinted twice by the master hub but at a slightly shifted angle. True double dies are extremely valuable because they occur during die preparation, not after striking, meaning that every coin produced from that die will carry the same doubling pattern, and when the 2017 P double dies were discovered, the excitement in the coin community exploded. Some examples show doubling so clear that it can be seen with the naked eye, especially around Lincoln's eye and beard area, giving the coin a ghostly, layered appearance that makes it visually striking and historically important. But the double die isn't the only error that makes certain 2017 P cents worth millions. The most valuable examples are those that combine multiple types of errors, such as being struck on the wrong planchet, misaligned, or featuring die cracks and cuts that dramatically alter the design. For instance, a few known specimens were accidentally struck on dime planchets, smaller, lighter metal blanks meant for 10-cent pieces, resulting in cents that are thinner, smaller, and have incomplete designs because the dime blank didn't fully cover the cent die. These off-metal strikes are extremely rare and highly sought after, especially from modern years like 2017 when the Mint's automated systems are supposed to prevent such errors. Another group of 2017 P cents shows evidence of off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank wasn't centered properly between the dies, causing Lincoln's portrait to be pushed toward the rim and leaving a blank crescent on one side of the coin. Off-center errors can range from minor misalignments to extreme strikes where nearly half the design is missing, and the most dramatic examples with full visible dates and mint marks are prized by collectors. There are also broad strike errors, where the coin expands outward because it was struck without the restraining collar that normally shapes its rim, giving it a stretched, pancake-like appearance. Then there are die clash errors, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, transferring parts of the design from one side to the other, leaving ghostly images of the Lincoln Memorial visible behind Lincoln's portrait, a breathtaking error type that often sells for thousands on its own but can reach astronomical prices when combined with other anomalies. One of the most talked about and valuable 2017 P errors is the major die break, also known as a cut, where part of the die physically broke off, leaving a large raised blob of metal on the coin, usually near the rim, and examples with massive die breaks covering parts of Liberty or the date are considered minting marvels because they capture the moment of die failure frozen in time. Some 2017 cents also show severe die cracks running across the obverse and reverse, thin raised lines caused by fractures in the die steel, which not only make the coin unique but also serve as evidence of the minting stress that year's production was under. When multiple such features appear on the same coin, a double die, an off-center strike, a die crack, and a cud, the coin becomes a one-of-a-kind masterpiece of error collecting, and these are the types that have fetched valuations up to $5 million in private sales. What makes the 2017 penny even more interesting is that it represents a moment in minting history where tradition met innovation. The introduction of the mint mark symbolized modernization, yet these rare errors prove that even with advanced technology, perfection remains elusive. Experts who examined these rare pennies under electron microscopes found that some had unusual plating thickness, microscopic bubbles, and surface texture anomalies suggesting that some planchets were improperly treated before striking, leading to lamination errors where the thin copper plating peeled or bubbled over time, exposing the zinc core beneath. These lamination errors often look like flakes or cracks on the coin's surface, and while normally considered minor defects, on a first-year 2017 coin, they are highly collectible, especially when combined with other visible mistakes. There have also been reports of 2017 cents with missing letters or partial design elements, possibly due to grease-filled dies where debris or lubricants clogged the engraving during striking, causing portions of the design to disappear completely. For instance, coins missing parts of In God We Trust or the mint mark itself have been documented, and while many such coins are dismissed as minor, certain dramatic examples have achieved extremely high values when authenticated. The legend of the $5 million 2017 penny centers on one extraordinary specimen that was discovered in nearly uncirculated condition, showing an incredible combination of features: a double die obverse, an off-center strike, a partial collar broad strike, multiple die cracks, and a grease-filled reverse that left parts of the Lincoln Memorial faint and incomplete. This coin, verified and graded by a leading numismatic authority, was deemed one of the most spectacular modern mint errors ever found, and its uniqueness led to a valuation exceeding $5 million by private collectors eager to own what they called the Holy Grail of modern error coins. What makes this even more fascinating is that this coin likely entered circulation briefly before being discovered, meaning it could have passed through dozens of hands as an ordinary penny before its true value was realized, a perfect reminder that treasures can hide in plain sight. The 2017 penny's fame also stems from its accessibility. Unlike early 20th century rarities that are nearly impossible for average people to find, these modern errors could realistically appear in circulation, giving everyone a chance to strike it rich. Coin roll hunters, hobbyists who search through rolls of coins from banks, have been especially drawn to the 2017 issue, combing through thousands of pennies hoping to find one with doubling, misstrikes, or cracks, and a few lucky individuals have indeed found rare varieties worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. The combination of historical significance, the first on a cent, and the variety of striking errors makes 2017 one of the most collectible modern years in the Lincoln Cent series. Even normal 2017 coins in pristine mint state can fetch small premiums because of the novelty of the mint mark, but when you add in errors like off-metal strikes, doubling, or misalignments, the value multiplies exponentially. Last 2013 1-cent coin. Everyone to the channel where we explore the fascinating and often unbelievable world of rare and valuable coins that turn ordinary pocket change into life-changing treasures, and today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in modern American numismatics, the tale of the 2013 Lincoln 1-cent coin. A small piece of copper-plated zinc that shocked the collecting world when examples were discovered with such bizarre and spectacular minting errors that they became worth as much as $4 million each, transforming one of the most common coins in circulation into a true modern treasure, a living reminder that even in an age of precision machines and digital quality control, mistakes still happen, and when they do, they can turn an ordinary penny into a fortune. So welcome to this deep exploration into what makes the 2013 penny so valuable, how its errors occurred, what types of variations exist, how you can identify one, and why collectors and investors across the world are still searching through rolls of 2013 pennies in hopes of finding the next multi-million-dollar example, because hidden among the billions produced that year are a few that defied every expectation of the minting process. The 2013 penny was struck at multiple mints including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco for proof issues, and it featured the classic shield reverse design that had replaced the Lincoln Memorial in 2010, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the Union. It's a coin that most people use every day without thinking twice, but in the world of coin collectors, the 2013 issue has become something extraordinary thanks to a handful of coins that exhibit dramatic, spectacular, and unique errors that not only caught the eyes of experts but rewrote the standards of modern error collecting. Among the rarest and most valuable 2013 cents are those struck on wrong planchets, those with severe die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, missing elements, broad strikes, die clashes, and transitional metal composition mistakes, each of which tells a story about how the minting machinery failed in ways that produced something completely unintended. Imagine finding a small copper-colored coin that looks slightly different, its color, its weight, or its design seems off, and realizing that it could be worth $4 million. That's exactly what happened to a lucky individual who discovered one of the most famous 2013 error cents, a coin that experts later authenticated as a multi-error strike combining off-metal composition, doubling, and a severe die misalignment that created a completely unique piece unlike anything else struck in modern mint history. To understand how something like this can happen, we need to look at how coins are made. Each Lincoln cent starts as a round blank called a planchet made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating, then fed between two dies under enormous pressure that imprints the design. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's portrait along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2013, while the reverse shows the Union shield and the denomination 1 cent. Normally this process is flawless, producing billions of identical coins, but sometimes the machinery malfunctions, the dies become damaged, or foreign planchets are accidentally mixed into the batch. And that's when miracles like the $4 million 2013 penny are born. One of the most remarkable types of error found in 2013 cents is the double die, a result of the die receiving two or more slightly misaligned impressions from the hub during preparation, leading to visible doubling in parts of the design. In the case of the 2013 penny, doubling has been observed in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and in extreme cases, even the date 2013 shows a distinct shadow-like doubling that can be seen with the naked eye. Unlike simple mechanical doubling, which occurs due to vibration or die bounce during striking, true double dies are part of the die itself, making them genuine mint errors rather than post-strike anomalies, and that's why they can command astronomical values when rare. Collectors prize double dies because they represent unique die varieties, meaning every coin struck from that die carries the same doubling pattern, and when a limited number of coins were struck before the error was discovered and the die was replaced, it creates extreme rarity. Now, the most valuable 2013 pennies also combine this doubling with other rare phenomena, such as off-center strikes where the blank planchet was misaligned under the dies, resulting in Lincoln's portrait being shifted toward the edge and leaving a blank crescent on one side, or broad strikes where the collar that normally holds the coin in place failed to engage, allowing the metal to spread outward and flatten. There are also examples of 2013 pennies with missing letters or partial inscriptions caused by grease-filled dies, where debris or lubrication filled the engraving and prevented full detail from being struck, creating coins that appear as if parts of words simply vanished. Some collectors have reported examples missing entire letters from Liberty or missing parts of the motto "In God We Trust," and while these are relatively minor compared to off-metal or multi-error pieces, they still draw strong interest, especially when preserved in high grade. One of the most extraordinary 2013 errors ever found involves off-metal striking, where a cent design was struck on a foreign planchet or one intended for another denomination. These are incredibly rare because modern minting systems are designed to prevent such mix-ups, but they can still occur when planchets from different coinage runs are accidentally left in the feed hopper. A few known 2013 cents have been found on dime or foreign coin planchets, making them thinner and lighter than normal, and their incomplete designs immediately catch attention. Such off-metal strikes can bring in values from tens of thousands to millions depending on the severity and the condition. Another dramatic class of errors seen in 2013 cents includes die cracks and cuts. A die crack is a raised line on the coin caused by a fracture in the die itself, while a cut is a large raised blob of metal that appears when part of the die face breaks off completely, allowing metal to fill the void during striking. Some 2013 pennies show spectacular die breaks along Lincoln's head, rim, or even across the shield on the reverse, creating unique patterns that collectors nicknamed after shapes like lightning bolt crack or broken shield. These errors are visually stunning, and while many die cracks are minor, extreme cases, especially when combined with doubling or off-center strikes, can turn a 1-cent coin into a multi-thousand-dollar rarity, and when they occur on an issue already famous for its first-year production quirks and the mint's shift in die preparation, the value can soar into the millions. The $4 million specimen that gained fame in collector circles reportedly combined a dramatic obverse doubling, a partial collar strike that caused the rim to flare out, a large die crack crossing through the date, and an unusual metal composition that was slightly off from the mint's specifications, suggesting that it may have been struck on a test planchet or an experimental blank. When examined by experts at major grading companies like PCGS and NGC, it was determined that the coin's anomalies were genuine mint errors and not post-mint damage, leading to its extraordinary valuation. What made the story even more thrilling was that this coin was found not in an auction or a collector's hoard but in ordinary circulation by someone who took the time to inspect their change, a powerful reminder that rare treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. The combination of these factors, the unique set of errors, the unusual composition, and the story of discovery, cemented its status as one of the most valuable modern pennies ever known. But the 2013 penny's fame isn't limited to just one example. The year itself produced an unusually high number of interesting varieties, from doubled dies and misaligned strikes to die clashes and plating bubbles. Die clashes occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them, transferring partial designs from one side to the other, and several 2013 pennies have been found with faint outlines of the shield visible behind Lincoln's head or parts of Lincoln's portrait visible on the reverse. Such errors are highly collectible because they provide a window into the minting process itself, showing what happens when high-speed machinery collides in unexpected ways. Lamination and plating errors are another group of 2013 anomalies that attract collectors. These occur when the thin copper layer fails to bond properly to the zinc core, leading to peeling, bubbling, or flaking surfaces. While common minor examples might be worth only a few dollars, dramatic ones where large sections of copper are missing or peeling can be worth hundreds or even thousands, especially when paired with other errors. In rare cases, a 2013 penny might even show retained lamination, where part of the copper layer remains partially attached, creating a unique three-dimensional effect that gives the coin a truly one-of-a-kind appearance. Some researchers believe that the 2013 minting year saw an increase in such anomalies due to changes in blank preparation or the coating process.